Hey there, it's Joe Cox again. So this topic, I'm hoping that I hit the. This was a question from a viewer. They said, "How do you reconcile narcissism and religion? How did I reconcile in my life between narcissism and religion?" So I had several different thoughts on that. So let me see if I can answer this question. And if you're watching this and it does not answer the question, please reach out to me and let me know. But I'll try to, I think I know where you're going with this and how that affected my life. So growing up, I grew up in a very strict religion. Um, I don't know if I've told you which religion before, but based on everything I'm saying, what religion would you think I have grown up in the past? If you're viewing, I'm not going to tell you today. I want to see if you can guess and you can figure out what type of religion. It's well known in the U.S. Um, so it's not one of these really small type. It's a big one. But I wanted to see what you say. But anyway, how did I reconcile those two? This is what it was for me. The problem is this religion gave parents a lot of power. My father never went to church, but my mother would wield the religion in and use the religion and to control. I'll give you an example. It's a Christian type religion, Christian based religion, should I say. And she would always say, Jesus would never fight. So if I ever get caught fighting at school, even if it's defending myself, I'm in trouble. And that I would possibly go to hell for that. And it was like, so here I am now. I can't defend myself. I can't. How am I going to walk around with confidence? And there was things like that throughout. So even the leaders would tell me what to do versus you know trying to inspire me. Not once did my parents or any leader ever say, "Joe, what do you want out of life? Tell me what you want." How many parents say that to their kids? Or are we always saying to our kids, "You're going to be a lawyer. You're going to do this. You're going to do that." Well, your grandfather was a lawyer, or your father's a lawyer, so you should be a lawyer. And that's okay if the kid wants to be a lawyer. But what if he wants to be an artist and he becomes a lawyer? I've heard so many stories like that that people get into life and they realize they actually get very good at their job, but they hate it. And there's something missing because they're out of harmony with who they are. Your job, your career, the means of which you have to produce a living should be in harmony with who you are. Even in high school, if you want to play sports, if you want to, if you have a father that says you're going to play sports and you're going to be top, quarterback, but you want to play in the band, and oh, that's for sissies. There's so many things. So I'm going to come back to the religious aspect, but what I'm saying is leaders in general, whether it's Christian, whether it's any type of church at all, they are sitting there telling you what to do. And I'm big on this. You'll hear this through my videos of you wonder what's wrong with the kids, but we're not actually teaching them. We're telling them what to do. And then when they get out in the world, you're not there to tell them, so they don't even know how to make a decision. Most important thing you can do for your child is to teach them how to live life, not be a dictator. I stress that. We are never supposed to control anything else or anybody, including the children. Now, does that mean you let them run wild? No, you got to give them structure. But controlling them is different. If they're in school, do you talk to them about what they would like to do in school versus, I want you to play the band, da da da. Now, there are times I think that some kids have to be pushed a little bit. At least try it, that sort of thing. Especially coming up, especially if they're on too many video games. Here's a trivia question I'll tell you real fast, and I don't. I've this would blow most kids away. I have never, ever owned a home video game. I've never purchased one. I used to play Pac-Man and stuff back in, at the arcades back in the 80s. But basically, even if I go over to somebody's house, it just doesn't interest me because I know video games, as a general rule, is to help take you away from reality. I think that it's a disconnect, and I think for me, it would be a waste of time. It'd be easy to lose myself in something like that. A lot of people spend hours a day on it. Wonder if you spent those hours a day reading, developing yourself, understanding life, going out into nature, going fishing. That's my 2 cents worth. You're welcome to leave a message on what you think about that. But I've seen both sides of it. I do not see a lot of healthy people that play a lot of video games. Matter of fact, I don't know if I've seen any. Playing video games does not make you a stronger being, mind, body, and spirit. It's for entertainment purposes. Now, some people say, well, I do it for my job. Hey, if you're doing it for your job and you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars and you enjoy your job and all, that's a whole different story than letting it eat up your time. Same thing that the people did years ago with TV. Okay. Maybe I'm digressing here a little bit. So we're going back to the religion and the narcissism. The reason I went off on all that is the religion and narcissism kind of, for me, played hand in hand. I was very angry at a lot of my leaders because I wanted to do one thing and they steered me in a different direction. It cost me my college money. They were sitting there, oh, give it to the church. And my mother was sitting there telling me I was too stupid to go to college anyway. And I really struggled during that time. And that's the period of time I almost took my life, is that I had no support, no encouragement. I'm here, graduated high school, we need a 5th grade level. Maybe I am just as stupid as what they said. Maybe they gave up on it. Maybe they saw that I was stupid early in life to where just to save myself a lot of misery, I'll just end it all now. Narcissists don't make us stronger. And for me, religion did not make me strong. It weakened me because that means I had to believe and give up my will to that religion. My personal opinion about a religion should make you stronger, should help you to understand that you were loved the day you were born. You loved yourself. You had tremendous self-love for yourself. You were excited about coming into this life. And all's been done since you come into this world with narcissistic parents is a chip. They chip away at your soul, your life force, your drive. I had to look back and I remember certain decisions saying, this is a fork in the road. Whatever decision I make is going to take me in another direction. And I followed the direction the church wanted me to go when I wanted to go in the other direction, because they said my direction was selfish. What I realized today, my direction was self-care. I'd come through all this abuse and I needed to take care of myself, but nobody told me that. Sacrifice everything that you have and you'll be happy, you'll be blessed. Well, the church got blessed. It's sad. It's sad that there's a lot of predators out there in a lot of different ways, mind, body, and spirit. Rather than the church leaders seeing that, hey, we can tell that this kid is in a dysfunctional childhood, let's help give him some guidance. I didn't have anybody there. No distant family. I had this large Christian family. Nobody was there encouraging me. Matter of fact, most of them wanted to stay away from my mother and father. And I look back now, I can see how ostracized our whole family was. That's why my mother went to this church, and she was considered the nice lady. She was so nice to everybody. As soon as we got home, she's screaming at us, degrading us. So I don't know if I answered the question about how did I differentiate, or how did I come to a resolve about religion and narcissism. I don't really go particularly belong to any religion today. How does that may help answer it? I believe in building myself up, character, mind, body, and spirit. Um, help teaching other people how to believe in themselves, what matters. People say, well, isn't it selfish to work on yourself? This is the key, and this may help answer that question. When you work on yourself, you're doing what God wants you to do. Think about that. How can you be a strong person if you don't develop yourself? Then, once you develop yourself, you can go give. Same thing with airplane. The air pops down. They don't tell you to put the oxygen on the child first. They tell you put it on yourself first, right? Self-care is first, and then that is a very basic concept about life. You can't take care of anybody else until you can take care of yourself. A lot of mothers that were not taken care of by their husbands, I see later in life, they grow up very bitter, and their kids leave, and the kids don't want to be around them because they're bitter, and the wife or the mother feels like she's taking care of these kids all this year, and they have no gratitude. My wife, she took care of her children, but she maintained and has built and maintained a relationship where they love to call her and talk to her. You got to understand, you can't command or demand, you can't demand anything from anybody else, including your children. The only real way you ever make sure your children stay attached to you is through commanding respect from your behavior, not demanding. So for those that are younger, if you have demanding parents or you have a narcissistic parents, I guess this would be for any age. If you have parents that guilt you into taking care of them, I can assure you now, no matter how sick my parents are, if they're going to disrespect me, would I help them? Yes, I would. I would give them oxygen. I would do whatever it took because that's who I am. Not because they deserve it or have earned it or anything like that. It's because I give unconditional love. But I will not tolerate any type of disrespect or dishonor. If they wanted something, I'd go over to help them. First time they backtalked me, degraded me, or attacked me in any way, I turn around and walk off. So a lot of you, and what I've heard, is you feel entitled. Your parents feel entitled to you helping them no matter how much they abuse you. That's not self-care. God has never asked you to stay in a relationship that you're abused or neglected. You're doing it for the kids, all that. Religion, I guess I've gotten into a lot of these other things because for me, the religion had a major effect on my decisions in life. If I went to a church today, I would do it more for community, for connection. I wouldn't do it because I needed that church to connect to God. Me and God connect directly. That's how I feel. I'd like to hear your feedback. Hopefully that answered your question. I got into it from my perspective, but if it didn't, please leave a comment. Send me an email. The email's in there as well. But don't forget to check out my book, Life Made Simple, Secrets to Wealth and Happiness Hidden in Plain Sight. God wants you to be happy and He wants you to be wealthy. And that's why I wrote that book. Once you get in harmony and understand the basic concepts I put in that book, you will thrive in everything that you do. This is Joe Cox signing off for today. I send you love, blessings, much gratitude. Bye-bye.